the label. If the label shows your intent, wear it. There's a label here. People know what you are, what you stand for. The younger generation, they say Islam is not in your head, Islam is not in your beard. Very clever. And I want to tell them, put it on. In your buses, in the trains, wherever you are, put it on. That's your time now. This label, don't throw it away. Preserve it. Encourage your children to have it. He taught us, he says, you see, the younger should wish the elder first. He said, you see, the guy who's coming down the steps must wish the one who's going up the steps, naturally. The guy who's riding a horse or a camel or a donkey, he must wish the one who's walking. All this detail he gave us. But the problem is, what are we going to wish the guy that we see? We don't recognize who he is. And this, the Muslim, the Indian Muslim, is going off. Beard. It's in the heart. But I said, now that means we can't recognize you. We don't know who you are. Unless it's very close relationship. We don't know. Generally, we don't know who's who. So I go to Mauritius. A lot of Indian Muslims there. And nobody wishes one another salams there, in that country. Hardly. Some of the leading young men were taking me from meeting people. In the street, the leading guys of the societies. Nobody's wishing salams. Nobody. I'm inquisitive. I want to know why. Reason is because they all look alike. The Creole, the Indian, the Hindu, the Christian, everybody is the same. No identity. So now you don't want to make a fool of yourself. If you don't know, the guy looks familiar. But he says, Assalamu alaikum. I say, what's that? What did he say? You don't want to feel embarrassed. So rather, keep quiet. In Canada, the Muslims now, they say, hi, hi. Because it's safer. You don't make a mistake. You say hi, he knows hi. You might say salam. You don't want to create problem unnecessarily. So when I return from Mauritius after this experience, they give me a chance to speak in the Jummah Masjid, Durban. And I shared this ayah. I read it and I started to explain. I said, you see, in Mauritius, this is my experience. People don't wish one another. And the reason is, they don't have a headgear. See, they're shy to have a headgear. Finished. That means gone. Now you don't know who's who. So after the Jummah, one of my dear friends, very close friend, from more than 30, 40 years, we are friends. He said, look, I want to tell you something. And you can tell it to the people. You can share it with the people. Yeah, what is it? He said, you see, our friend, the Golden Peacock, some Ali brothers, at a cinema they had a takeaway. And we are very close friends. So he says, now look, I go and stand there. And anybody comes for anything, I'm standing, chatting, passing time. So he says, half a dozen samosas, it's all right. He'll take it, fill it in a packet, give it to the man, take the money, give it to the teller. So he's standing there, and a young boy, handsome young lad, comes along. He says, I want half a dozen samosas. So he takes a paper bag, puts half a dozen samosas. Cashier, whether to giving change or not, I don't know what happened. He says, give it to the cashier. And he looks at the boy, handsome young boy, good looking. This boy, what's your name? So he says something like Muhammad so-and-so. So why didn't you wish me salams? You know, you're a Muslim child. You should wish me salams. So the boy says, Uncle, I thought you were a banya. Of course you don't. I don't know whether you know what it is. You see, me. I am a Muslim from the Bombay province. I speak Gujarati. That's my language. There are other Hindus, they also speak the same language like me. They look more like me than the Tamils and the Telugus. You know, the Madrasis, they are a little darker. It's just coming from different parts of the country. So they are better baked than my people. We come from a little north. The sun rays are hitting us at an angle. You still go further north, it's hitting them at a greater angle. So they are lighter. This is the less sunlight. People in Kashmir, they are like the Europeans. The Afghans are like the Europeans. Wallah. They look like the Buddhas. The children look like Buddhas, the Africans. In the complexions. See, it's the sun. So these guys are darker. My people are a little lighter. Because we come from a part of the country which the sun is not that intense. So they look like me. They are the Hindus. Gujarati Hindus of my language group. They look like me. We have the same surnames. But look, there are so many. Muslim Desai, Hindu Desai. Muslim Patel, Hindu Patel. Muslim Bhula, Hindu Bhula. So we speak the same language, we look alike. So that group of people, the Gujarati Hindu, we call them Banyas. Like the Jews, they are the business people, we call them Banyas. So the young boy says, "Uncle, I thought you were a Banya." So he said, "Look, I can tell it to people." I said, "Right." Now, he's my dear friend. When we meet among friends, I remind him. I said, "You remember?" I said, "Yes." From the mouth of the child, Allah is making to tell you, deliver the message, that, "Uncle, I thought you are a mushrik." That's what he's saying. "Uncle, I thought you were a mushrik." That's what he's saying. "I thought you were a mushrik. How can I make you salam?" So somebody said, "No, why didn't you wish me salam?" He said, "I thought you were a colored," meaning a Christian. Or I don't know what names you might have used some terms, I don't know. He said, "I thought you were such and such, And still he won't. He still won't put on. That's a sickness. That to me is an unforgivable sickness. And what it does, in Natal, we are 20% of the Indians, we are Muslim, we are 20%. 1 out of every 5 Indian is a Muslim. 1 out of every 5. If you count Hindu, 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 Christian, Muslim. Hindu, 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 Muslim. Hindu, Hindu, Christian, Christian, Muslim. But out of every 5, 1 is a Muslim. In Stanger, a town, some 40 miles in that place, 30%. I said, if this 30% only put on a headgear, what you can do to the enemy? Outside, he'll be terrified. Because the others are all like sheep and goats, you can't recognize. But you see the guy with a kufya. Kufya you call it. What do you call it? Kufya. Yes. Kufya, 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 kufya. And that's visible. That's what you see. The others are like sheep and goats. You don't see them as if they don't exist. But the kufya is visible. When that happens, it boosts your morale. I didn't know we have so many Muslims here. And the enemy, so many Sunnah fellows, Munas here. It terrifies them, wallah, it terrifies them. And our Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave us the secret. When the Eidains come, the 2 Eids, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, he said, go to the Eidgah, in the open air outside the town. Look, this is not politics, your politics. I don't know what are your politics here. I'm not talking about your politics. Whether it's a judicial council or whether it's this, what they're talking, I don't know. And I don't care. I am only telling you what our Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam he said. He said, when the Eidains come, go to the open field. He called it Eidgah. Open field for Salat. He said Salatul Eid. And when you go, he said, you must take your women and children also with you. And he went further than that. He said, even menstruating women. In Islam, it's not fard on them to make salat. He said, even menstruating women. Doing nothing. Just sit down. Why burden them? Ask you, why burden them? Poor thing, unnecessarily. They can't make salat. No, there is a philosophy, psychology behind that. That if this woman goes, that means everybody goes. When that woman goes, her children will be there with her. Otherwise the children got an excuse to stay at home. The ma is there at home, say, no, even menstruating women, let them go. So everyone, even the little ones, she's carrying one in her arm, there's one in her stomach. There's one 3-year-old, one 5. Everybody is there. So the enemies of Islam, they watch. Shh, so many Muslims in Medina. So many Muslims in this village. So many Muslims in Mitchell's Plain. So many Muslims. We didn't know. You, so Alhamdulillah, we are so many. Then Belgium, this is the secret. He's telling you, psychology, do it. But no, I won't do it. Why not? You know the reasons. Why don't you want to do it? Look for an open field. I know your weather is bad here, but go to the Good Hope Center. Have the Good Hope Center. Fill it up. Let the world know. Any covered place in a weather like this. When the weather is good, then it says open fields. Go out into the open. And while we are walking with your kufias and maybe with some Arab garb, loose shirt, man says, what is this? What's going on here? My dear brothers, this is what Allah wants of us. To build a community. Peace and salutations, peace and salutations. Allah is keeping record of all that, he says. He's keeping record of that. So, the label is the kufia. I have been telling people jokingly, if this is too heavy for you, the gays in America, they put one earring. You can put on the other side. Or put a green dot. The communists, they were putting red ties at one time. All right, you think of a green tie. That every Muslim from now on will wear a green tie. Okay, look, I'm for it, anything. You say we must wear earrings. But why do silly things? This is the cheapest and the best, the most inoffensive. No offense. Humility. This is the most humble thing you can wear. Nobody can point a finger at you. But if your life is in danger, I said, keep it in your pocket. If your job is in danger, I said, take it out. But as soon as you come out from your job, put it on. In your buses, in the trains, wherever you are, put it on. That's your time now. Our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he gave us the secret of this psychology. He said, when the Eidains come, to the Eidgah, in the open air outside the town. Look, this is not politics, your politics. I don't know what are your politics here. I'm not talking about your politics. Whether it's a judicial council or whether it's this, what they're talking, I don't know. And I don't care. I am only telling you what our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said. That when the Eidains come, go to the open field. He called it Eidgah. Open field for Salat. He said Salatul Eid. And when you go, he said, you must take your women and children also with you. And he went further than that. He said, even menstruating women. In Islam, it's not fard on them to make salat. He said, even menstruating women during the monthly courses. Why burden them? Ask you, why burden them? Poor thing, unnecessarily. They can't make salat. No, there is a philosophy, psychology behind that. That if this woman goes, that means everybody goes. When that woman goes, her children will be there with her. Otherwise, the children got an excuse to stay at home. The ma is there at home, say, no, even menstruating women, let them go. So everyone, even the little ones, she's carrying one in her arm, there's one in her stomach. There's one 3-year-old, one 5. Everybody is there. So the enemies of Islam, they watch. Shh, so many Muslims in Medina. So many Muslims in this village. So many Muslims in Mitchell's Plain. So many Muslims in Hanover Park. It terrifies the enemy out of his wits. We are so many. Then Belgium, this is the secret. He's telling you, psychology, do it. But no, I won't do it. Why not? You know the reasons. Why don't you want to do it? Look for an open field. I know your weather is bad here, but go to the Good Hope Center. Have the good hope center. Fill it up. Let the world know. Any covered place in a weather like this. When the weather is good, then it says open fields. Go out into the open. And while we are walking with your kufias, and is this, what's going on here? My dear brothers, this is what Allah wants of us. You build a community psychologically. You're creating bond between yourselves. Peace and salutations, peace and salutations. Allah is keeping record of all that, He says. He's keeping record of that. So, the label is the kufia. I have been telling people jokingly, if this is too heavy for you, the gays in America, they put one earring. You can put on the other side. Or put a green dot. The communists, they were putting red ties at one time. All right, you think of a green tie. That every Muslim, you say we must wear earrings. I said, right, okay, everybody let's wear earrings. That everybody will know I'm a Muslim. But why do silly things? This is the cheapest and the best, the most inoffensive. No offense. Humility. This is the most humble thing you can wear. Nobody can point a finger at you. But if your life is in danger, I said, keep it in your pocket. If your job is in danger, I said, take it out. But as soon as you come out from your job, put it on. In your buses, in the trains, wherever you are, put it on. That's your time now. If your boss doesn't want it at work, you're working in an office, as a typist or whatever, he doesn't want it, okay, boss. Don't make an issue out of it. Because in your time, to me, it's inexcusable that you take it off. This one here will save our mothers and daughters. An old man sitting with this. Somebody want to interfere with a Muslim girl that's passing by. I say this, what do you call the old guy? He says, he's looking, he's watching. This old man. He might not be able to stand up and do nothing. But just because he's got this on, it saves our mothers and our daughters from insults, from assaults. Just this. There's some Sulla fellow watching. Some Moor is watching. So if the label shows your intent, what you are out to do. He'll start with you. Good. Instead of you starting, he's starting with you. Let him start. Then get my literature. Free. Wallah, free. He'll arm you how to do the job. How to crack his skull. And these literatures are all free. Yes, I will be giving it to you if you ask somebody to bring it. Saleh, will give. Yusuf, our Yusuf is there. Right, Yusuf, please, if he's here. We have a comic strip, very entertaining. Comic, 4-color job. Look, Allah has blessed us, wallah. 30 years ago I started coming to the Cape. I used to drive down from Durban to here. It took me about 3 days. I stopped in East London, Port Elizabeth, and on the way, if I find a Muslim shop, that Adelaide, going there, King Williamstown, Queenstown, collecting zakat lillah, 5 rands, 10 rands, 50 rands, begging, coming here, going door to door, zakat lillah, for 30 years. That I'm in a position today, what I'm telling you, 100,000 Qurans at a time, I'm having them published. I have printed this book, Arabs and Israel, Conflict or Conciliation, which will be given free to you at the Good Hope Center. 80-page book, 16 pages, full color, 4-color job. I printed 250,000. You know what's 250,000? 250,000. From a position, when I started this propagation center in 1958, to print a pamphlet, we used to go and get a quotation. Me and my secretary, Mr. Vanka, he passed away, may Allah give him Jannah. We used to go and get a quotation for 1,000 and 5,000. Then we have a meeting between us. He says, man, 5,000 is too much money. We'll print 1,000 now. Later on, inshallah, if we can do it, we'll do 5,000. Today, about the Pope. You remember the Pope? His Holiness plays hide and seek with Muslims. 250,000 first print. 250,000. Then we did it in Arabic. Now this one here, a story in cartoon form, 4-color job, about Ahmed and John. I am that Ahmed. And John is a Christian missionary. I won't take his full name. You see, Ahmed and John. John comes along and knocks at the door, which is happening to our doors. Same, it's the same setup. Then the guy wants to share his deen with you. He wants to save you from hellfire. So he says, now how to deal with him? Easy. I tell you there now, look, this is what this Ahmed did to that John. You memorize that verse, do the same. Everything, the laddu, the halwa. I don't know, you have some sweet meat. You know, Turkish delight, you put in your mouth and it melts away, melting moments. I don't know whether Malays have any such thing like that. Something nice, halwa like, you know. Nice, sweet thing, like pudding. Kusistas. Like your kusistas. You see? I said, this is like that. Take it and chew it, man. Enjoy it. Wallah. Yeah. 4-color job. 4-color job. I printed 100,000. I can't remember 100,000 I did, but it might be 250,000, I don't know. But it's being done. Shh. Allah has blessed us. 100,000 Qurans at a time. Wallah, it's all for you. I want you to. You need it. Therefore, I say, he remembered, alhamdulillah. Just memorize the verse. You got to do that job. At least you do that amount. You memorize the verse that's given to you, and the guy comes to your door, you ask him, you have faith? Do you have faith? You want to share your faith with me, have you got it? You can't share something you haven't got. So I said, no, he's got faith. He said, look, Jesus said, if you have faith, you'll take up snakes, and if they bite you, nothing will happen to you. You drink poisonous stuff. Jesus said. That is the quotation is there. Jesus told you can drink poison and nothing can happen to you. Right? That's what Jesus. So I said, right, I'll get you some ant poison. You got some cockroach killer? Huh? So look, I want to see you drink that to prove to me that you have faith before you talk to me. Finish. That khabis won't knock on your door again. He comes again, says, hey, you got faith now? Come on, I've got something ready for you. Some caustic soda with some sugar inside, cyanide. Come on, what do you want to have? You make your preference. What do you want to drink? I want to know whether you have faith. And the khabis will run like a beaten dog with tail between his legs. This is privilege Allah has given us. Use this. Give it to your children. Memorize the verse. When they go to school, same. Talk, man, talk. Any other literature you want, go to Roswick supermarket and pick it up. Pick it up. In this battle, you are doing my job for me. Wallah, you're doing me a favor. You're doing Islam a favor. You're doing yourself a favor. I am yourself. I wish you all luck and throw it away. Preserve it. Encourage your children to have it. Wear it. Your children to wear it. Your girls to wear that little scarf. Encourage them. It will keep us, at least, it will strengthen us in Islam and keep us united far more readily than in any other way. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.